If this was a small repair, not like a huge Grand Canyon crack like this one, it would totally work. It would be totally fine. Bundy's Upholstery Shop. Today we're working on a leather seat that's ripped. See the rip right here and some up there. Bought this on Amazon. Professional DIY leather and vinyl repair kit, blacks by Fortivo, Fortivo, for those of you who can't spell. So we're going to see how well this stuff does. It got pretty good reviews on Amazon, but I've never done anything like this before. I can change out a time belt and I can make killer scrambled eggs, but I am not a upholsterer or a cobbler or a leather repairman either. So instructions basically say you have this cloth and you're supposed to put the cloth underneath the rip if it's more than 1/4 of an inch. Obviously it is. And then I got the black kit because it comes with two pretty significant bottles of black, and you have white as well there. So I guess if you're doing a gray interior. It also comes with this little mixing cup right here. You have a brush that fell out right there. There's some online videos that you can watch. And a sponge that the ladies can use. That was a joke. It's for putting in, I would assume, the texture into the leather after it starts to dry a little bit. But let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do, I will cut this fabric to size to be able to fit in there, and then kind of have a backing, backing to have the compound, the black compound. What would you call it? A sealant to compound the sealing surface, the sealing gel, the sealing juice. To show me how many fluid ounces this thing is. Professional leather and vinyl repair kit, black. Okay, so let's get going. It's relatively warm out. You know, it said if it's colder or more humidity in the air, and the instructions say it would take longer. It also says you're supposed to put one application in, then wait 6 to 12 hours for the first application to dry, and then build it up against that. I have some scissors here that I'm going to cut the fabric with. So I'm just going to, guesstimate. I have let's get all this stuff out of the way. It also says to cut all the loose, like, frails of thread. I'll cut this off, trim this back. I also have this right here. This always happens to these Honda Acura seats with these holes. They just seem to rip it wide open, and it just looks awful. So I'll clean all this up, cut this off. We got a thread over here. If you guys can see that. Cut that up. Cut that off, I mean. Just kind of clean it up before I put the backing fabric in. But let me do that. I'll take you off screen, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll leave you guys in here with me so you guys can see that, fast forward through it. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, come in here, trim some of this stuff up. Let's see if I can find anything right here. Go ahead, trim that up. Chuck that outside the car. I can see why they want you to trim this. If there's any threads that are hanging out, they want you to trim it up so that the threads don't pop out or are shown when you actually apply the sealant. Okay, was that it? Over here, looks okay. So then I'm going to guesstimate this. Let's see how far I can get it in here. Maybe 1/4 of an inch. Ends right there, so I need it all the way over there. So let's see, it ends right there. Guesstimate like right here, because it will end. There's a seam right here, so I have to cut it pretty close to that, but make sure I cover it there. That seems to be long enough to cover over there, so I'll go right here, just eyeball it, which is right about here. Okay, got that. I'm gonna work it in under the seat right here. Okay, Another thing you want to do is make sure that it's flat so you don't feel it when you're sitting on your seat. I don't know if it's necessarily made for rips this big, but we will find out. Okay. Trying to smooth it out as well as possible. You feel the edge, the corner rolled over on itself. Okay, fix that. Okay. Oh man. I don't know if it's gonna work. Trying to pull it up closer. This might be a losing battle, right? So then it also said the instructions said to work from the inside or the outside in. Let's double check that. For cuts, holes, and rips larger than 1/4 of an inch, cut a piece of backing fabric with rounded edges slightly larger than the damaged area. Insert it under the damaged area with the spatula. Okay, you don't need the backing fabric for repairs smaller than 1/4 of an inch, surface peeling or scratching. Use the color mixing guide to prepare the desired colors if it's not black. Applying the repair compound to the damaged area. Start with applying it along the edges and work from the outside to the center. Use spatula for large applications and brush for surface touch-ups. For surface scratches peeling, apply a thin layer to the mixture to the damaged area. Dab very gently with a paper towel to remove any excess and to smooth it out. Alright, so let's do this. There's no time like the present, right? Got my solution. Yeah, looks like it's good to go. Okay, so I need to cut that end. Nope. Just shot out my finger. I'll put that there. Let's see what this stuff will do. The fabric underneath the leather is pushing it up. So I need to find something I can hold the... Okay, just putting the tape there to hold it down. Like try to get this stuff to set up correctly. Yeah, key here is to make sure that that backing material is flat. If this doesn't work, I guess I'll have to go get some seat covers. Okay, gonna get a tape measure, put that right there. It's coming up right there. I need to get another weight. Okay, got a big wrench, gonna put it right here. Put some more pressure on it. Leave it there. Alright guys, let that sit. Gonna wipe this off. There's a lot left in this bottle for even that huge rip. Or huge crevice, I should say. Find the cap, put the cap back on so it doesn't dry. Okay, give it 12 hours. And I'll come back and let you guys know what happened. I might have to apply a second coat, but let's see what happens with this stuff. I also saw another video that the guy did it and then he came back and sanded this down a little bit, so It does make your hands black, so just know that. I guess if you wanted to, you could wear gloves. Doesn't smell really like anything. So, all right, there you go, guys. Bundy's Upholstery Shop. We'll come back in 12 hours. All right, guys, it's been a little bit over 12 hours, maybe about 20 hours or so. This has been drying, and it is dry to the touch. I laid it on really thick, as you guys could see in the previous video, and that is all dried up. One thing I should have done, and kind of dumb not to think about it, but however you leave this, when it's still wet, that's how it's going to dry. So I should have smoothed all this out with my finger or paper towel, because you can see how rough and nasty this kind of looks. So I'm going to do one more coat. I still have some rips and tears that didn't get sealed up. You can't see them on this from the angle you're at, but you guys can see that. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to smooth it out as I do this too. I saw one video of this guy who kind of sanded this down. Should I take some sandpaper to it? Let me try. See what happens for you guys. I'll try to sand this down a little bit. The roughness of it, and see what happens. But it is dry, and it's not coming on my hand. I mean, in liquid form, it stained my hands black. I had to use brake cleaner to get it off. Not anymore. I've gotten it all off. But yeah, this stuff is very, very pigmented with black. If you're worried about your skin at all, I would highly suggest using gloves when you apply this. But let me get some sandpaper and let me sand it real quick, see what happens, and then I'm going to apply some more and try to smooth this out. I just have a little tiny piece of 120 grit sandpaper, folding it over. It is taking the high spots down, smoothing it out. Just be careful, if you go too far, you'll just go through the repair that you just did. So yeah, you can sand it. Just know that you're going to have to put another coat of sealer in it. I'm not trying to hit the leather, I'm just trying to hit the repair. I don't want to scuff the leather up at all. Just trying to feel for high spots. Okay, so if I want to take more time and knock it down, I could. I'm going to apply this and smooth it out with my finger. Let it dry for another 20 hours, 12 to 20. If this was a small repair, not like a huge Grand Canyon crack like this one, it would totally work. It would be totally fine. Find this rip right here, okay. Going underneath it, filling it up. Got a glove on. These are the best mechanic gloves I have found out there. I mean, these things resist oil and stand up to a lot of abuse. If you guys are interested, I'll put a link in the description below where you guys can pick these up on Amazon. I'm going to just take my finger, run it over these cracks, and try to smooth this stuff out as well as possible. Just remember, the texture you leave it here, that's the texture it'll dry to. So just know how you want it to look. It's kind of hard to smooth it out because of the rough texture of the way I left it the first time. So it is what it is, baby. Okay, there you go. I'm going to leave it like that. Let this dry for another 12 to 20 hours. Yeah, give it about a day. 12 to 24 hours I would recommend. If you're looking for a very inexpensive way to fix your leather, I would highly recommend this Fortivo. I'll put a link in the description below. But there you guys go. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to BundysGarage on YouTube. Questions, comments, concerns, you can always reach out to me at bundysgarage@gmail.com. And like always, I'll keep them rolling for you. Man, I should have done a better job at smoothing that out the first time. Oh yeah, one more thing. There is a rip right up here on the top, but I decided not to do that because this is where your knee actually goes across the seat right here. And I know it's probably start to feel funky if you're kind of feeling a hard, hard elastic kind of material underneath your knee. But this is where your butt's sitting most of the time or all the time, so I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal.